Hey there, it's Natalie Topa, and I'm here in Gedaref, Sudan, and it's the last day of our sponge garden demo that we've been working on for several days here. I'm here consulting with the Norwegian Refugee Council for about 8 weeks in country, and from here I'll move on to other locations for the next 5 weeks. But we've created a demo of a water harvesting sponge garden that I made a longer video of yesterday, so please refer back to that video to see what this looks like without all the mulch and features that we've added today. So yesterday you did not see any of the mulch or the bags that we've used for tree protection, but let me just walk you through. This is the normal practice here is to weed and cut at the soil level on top of that, and quote unquote clean this whole area. So what happens is water sheets off. It definitely creates desiccation. This is what is happening in Somalia at a large scale because of the removal of vegetation, as well as fluctuations in rainfall, though that's not the main issue. So we've still got people working here in the last minutes. But basically what we've done, you'll see in yesterday's video, we have created a water harvesting garden that has every single thing is on contour. We measured everything using A-frames. We've made a food forest here. We have bioswale, smile berms, stones on contour, so earthworks and stoneworks. We have lots of stones here, which can also be a blessing, even though some people look at it as a curse. But we've trellised. We want our system to be three-dimensional and vertical. So you can see that we've trellised where we can, trying to add verticality. But couple of the main things that are different from yesterday are we've covered everything with mulch. We don't want any bare soil, no soil showing. If you can see the soil, the sun can see the soil, and the sun's eyes are sucking all that moisture and life out of the soil. So everything is very highly mulched. And of course we've used green materials, lots of charcoal and charcoal dust, goat manure, and every one of these gunias or gunny sacks contains a baby tree. So we've planted in time and space, what that means is that in every smile berm there is a main tree that's a long-term tree, like a mango, or we have an acacia for nitrogen filtration that'll wash down the system. Pomegranates, so we try to do a big tree, a medium or small tree as the main tree, but then as a supplement we've got a papaya and or banana in the same smile berm, especially in the wetter area, and that will help to shade create a very shaded microclimate here so that those longer term trees can have coolness. And then papayas as well. So inside, the way we planted the trees is that we make a very deep hole. These need mulch. These are supposed to be mulched. But inside the hole, there's plenty of dried grasses, charcoal dust, manure, and then soil, and then it's planted in there. And then we're mulching around the base of the tree as well for soil and water conservation. So every one of these bags contains a little baby tree, and I have not used these plastic bags before. We normally use like a cylinder bamboo basket, but we didn't have those available here. So what I have used in the past are the spoiled gunny sacks or gunias, so ones that are torn or ripped. We just stitch them around sticks so that they have some wind protection. The trees have wind protection and sun protection. We've also used just carton boxes, so panels of carton boxes that don't really survive the rain that well, but they can just be mulched down. We have also we've planted our double dug beds today, and before we leave we're going to have to separate the mulch so the sun gets into those seeds that we've just planted. But we've planted jute, we've planted okra, we've planted arugula, and we've planted tomatoes, we've planted eggplants, a lot of onions in between for pest management. And then we've created a shade structure over each garden, because this is one of the dryland strategies to protect from the harsh sun that's going to come now that the rains are ending. So we've just jimmy rigged it with whatever we had. We used bamboos. We have this wonderful string that is my favorite thing in the world. It's called John Garang, or Jamaica, because it's very, very, I mean, it's very, very tough. It's from tire tread. But it looks like dreadlocks if you hold it in a big bunch of them. So we have the 2 garden beds here that are completely mulched. We've mulched our berms. We've planted grapes, as well as beans and pumpkins, because this grape will take a long time. And in the meantime, we'll have the nitrogenous climbers to support the grape as well, and other things we've planted around there. And then because this is the west side and we really want to try to get as much shade in here as possible, we planted some teepee trellises also with the John Garang string as a vertical cross growing section. So here we've also planted beans and cucumbers, so that, you know, we're just trying to integrate more microclimate as possible. And of course we've got our insect hotels everywhere, so that's habitat for all those little helpful people, lizards and frogs and sometimes snakes, and other spiders and beneficial people. So this is what our system looks like. Let me zoom out a little bit. I will count the number of trees that we have, but this whole place is basically just a prison, a loving, happy, positive prison, a prison for water. It's going to be much more difficult for water to escape here now, and that water is just going to soak in to the soil. All this mulch will break down, but we've told the gardener Mohammed that he needs to keep mulching and feeding the soil. That's the main task. And then of course, before the rains, the reason that I like to make these bamboo trellises a bit big is because you can get in there as a person to harvest your beans or pumpkins or whatever you're growing there, passion vines if we had them here. But it makes it much easier to get in there and desilt any soils that have not been trapped by our silt trap. So that's it. It's been a really great time here with the Gedaref team, and we're gonna bismillah this site and hope that it works well and it's a success, and they're gonna be monitoring and taking care of it. So just want to give us a big cheer. This is the team. We're about to go do our certificate ceremony and closing circle. So thanks everybody. Hope that's helpful. Bye.